Welcome everyone to a new video. This is going to be a bit of a different one in the start of a new episode or series on my channel, and I'm pretty excited to introduce you to the series and everything that we're going to talk about. You're in for a ride. It's going to be a bit of a longer one. We'll try to keep it as brief as we can, but I would love to at this point welcome to the floor OG Flo. Welcome, Flo. How's it going?
Hi, yeah, I'm fine. How about you?
I'm good. So, Flo, where are you from in the world? And tell us about how you started playing the game.
Yeah, I'm from Austria here. So, we have quite some time difference when recording this video. I started the game way back in the pandemic, so 2 years ago, almost, and then. Started as a free-to-play player for maybe 3 months, and later decided, okay, you are spending a lot of time in the game. Not that much time back then, but quite some time. So why not going Gold Pass? So I'm a Gold Pass player right now. Apart from that, I didn't buy any packs, but I bought a few premium challenges. So that's kind of my spending level, and nowadays I'm going for ACR pretty every tour since I enjoy the game. I like to grind, and that's what we also want to discuss today about.
Awesome. Yeah, so I met Flo through our OG clan and through our server, and both Flo and I care a lot about inventory strategization and, making the most of the tickets and the resources that we get in the game. So that's what we're all here to discuss today. It's all about all Kart ranking. It's all about ACR, and most importantly about how we invest our resources. So that's what we're here to talk about today. And we've got a absolutely packed agenda to talk to you about today. We're going to be going through our previous ACR results. We're going to be talking about this current tour, the projections. We're going to be talking about what got buffed and what shows up in terms of plus skills. And then we've got some pretty exciting things in store in terms of some data analysis. So get excited for that. OG Flo, did you ever think you'd be on a YouTube video with someone in New Zealand?
No, definitely not. Maybe not even 2 months ago, but then joined OG. I think we had quite some nice discussion over there. So really looking forward to this video.
Awesome. All right, so let's not muck around too much, guys. We're going to get stuck into it. First up, we're going to talk about our ACR results from the Peach versus Bowser tour. So first up, we're going to have a look, and congratulations, Flo, placed 224th. That's a great placing. I know that 200 plus means that you're going to be on that. Is it the second page, I think?
Yes.
So, you're always gunning for that. So tell me, what were your goals last tour?
Yeah, so usually with my loadouts, as you can see on the score sheet, it's quite easy to achieve top 1000. So I'm usually going for a bit more. I'm not at the point where I can say, okay, I can go for top 100s. That's pretty difficult. Or at least I would need to grind a lot. So as you can see on the right side, I achieved 87.3%, which is some decent score. There are of course better ways to grind, but for my playstyle, I think that's pretty fine. So I usually aim for top 250, something like this. I'm glad if I can make it to the first page, which I also landed a few times. But for this tour, nothing particular. Of course, there were this question mark Coinbox Mesuit.
Did you get it?
I unfortunately did not get. So it was just impossible. So my loadouts were okay-ish for both rank cups. It's nothing spectacular, but they were decent enough. But just I had both weeks at least one other racer in my rank cup, which I could not overtake. And especially for the second week, I had quite some nice runs. So Warrior Shipyard, I achieve the 200 actions, and also Cooper Cape, a boombox frenzy with a single boombox and another boomerang. So pretty nice scores over there. But yeah, just I think I would have needed another 10K, so impossible to do so.
Yeah,
so,
man.
Yeah.
Hey, that's
but in general, a nice ACR grind.
Well done. Some really great scores there. I love that. Cooper Cape T, 228 actions. That's a phenomenal run. So well done, man. And tell us, what upgrades did you make and why did you make those upgrades last tour?
So yeah, I invested into Rosalina Volendam since I liked the buffs she got, so Top Circuit T and also the R version, since I do not have Vacation Peach at a high level. So that were a pretty nice buff for my account. Yeah, as you can see, I then did not grind that much even on Top Circuit T, since there was just another guy that brought his gold Yoshi act to 8 triple cap. So the rank was already lost. But yeah.
That is rough, dude. Well, hey, congratulations anyway. Was there anything you learned or anything that was different about the tour last tour for ACR Grind, or was it pretty stock standard stuff?
Pretty standard stuff. So Cooper Cape as the new course is some course that has a lot of actions, other possibilities. So you can easily achieve the 200 actions, which is usually then a good point to stop grinding. Maybe not if it's in rank, but if it's not in rank, then it's usually enough. If you score the 200 actions and then you're at 90-95% of the score, that's fine.
Cool, man. Yeah, and I see you've got a level 1 Kart and a level 1 glider on Cooper Cape.
Yeah,
that's pretty rough. That's pretty hard.
And even a small one with
this. Yeah. I think we all got.
It was not fun.
Yeah, we all got absolutely shafted on that one. Thanks Mario. Thanks Nintendo. But hey, just keep an eye on that course, and I'm sure as we look at the data and we figure out these new items that are coming out, something will come out that will be just right for your inventory, which will buff that course for you. So well done, man. Let's carry on. So from my perspective, so I landed on 931st, which I was stoked about. That's my second ACR badge, 2 tours back to back. I wasn't actually planning on going for it last tour until I saw my estimates, and you can see out there 1.461. It's absolutely respectable. For me, I typically look then at the 87% estimate, which Flo, that's where you landed, around that 87% mark.
Exactly, yeah.
And for me, it's actually about time. I just don't have time to go for 90-95%. So it's actually a strategy for me to enjoy the game, for me to prioritize personal life and all of that kind of stuff as well, but still be able to go for it and still be able to compete. I was surprised with how high the scoring was in the last 2 days. I don't know if you noticed that too, Flo, but I noticed it picked up quite substantially, and I was sitting around maybe 600, 700, 650th or so, and then I dropped all the way back to 931st because I barely grinded or got any new scores for the last 2 days. So I guess my learning was that it's you can really feel the difference sometimes, depending how people grind or when people put the time into getting high scores. So that felt quite different for me last tour. And in terms of upgrades, last tour I did a couple things. I realized the White Bruiser was at 3 with one half to 4, so I put 1 ticket on it halfway through the tour. And I took the Sakura Hot Rod to level 6, so that was my big investment last tour. Went all in on that. I think the Wonderful Wings, I think I invested that in the previous tour, but that's also been a really great investment. So other than that, the Pink Gold Meteors to level 4 and single cap, and I think that's it. Actually one more, Satellaview, I took him to level 3 just for ranked. So sometimes the ranked upgrades can help with your ACR long term too, even though in this case he only gave me the 1 course. But yeah, jealous of that Rosalina Volendam. You must be absolutely loving it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think for me, I really enjoyed boomboxing last tour. So I don't know. I think I'm starting to really fall in love with it. It's all or nothing. It's feast or famine. But when you get that run, it's just absolutely insane. So the run I was probably the most proud of was the again Cooper Cape T 214 actions, which was I think blooper, boombox, and a boomerang frenzy 41k. So I was pretty proud of that run.
Yeah, I just noticed that the other Cooper Cape T is even it's a worse score, but you also have the boomerang and the boombox and the super horn, so quite some nice score.
And I got both of those runs quite quickly within one evening, which was kind of crazy. So there's lots of coin boxes on that track. So yeah, I really enjoyed it, man. I love Luigi Vacation. He's so much fun.
Yeah, in particular, there are also some nice tracks now to boombox, like Coconut Multi, or then Yoshi Valley T, which is back in this tour. It's just really fun to grind when you have all the coins on the half pipes. So yeah, Boomerang is then the best item, I would say, on those tracks, even if there would be a coin boxer.
Nice. All right, let's move along. We've got heaps to talk about today, guys. So first up, we've got our new courses, which is Baby Park T, and Baby Park R. Flo, did you used to play Wii, Mario Kart on Wii at all?
On Wii, yes, but it's no Wii course, unfortunately. So I didn't know that before.
Oh, is it not a Wii? Is it something? Is it GameCube? Oh yeah, it says it right there. It's GameCube. That's my mistake. Yeah, GameCube. So I never played this course. I don't know if you ever did either. Possibly not.
Me neither, no.
It's very short. What do you think it means for ACR this tour?
Yeah, of course you have 6 tracks with something like 150 actions, maybe on average, because the T version is then a little bit easier to get actions on with, as in particular if you have a boomerang or a giant banana drive over there. But the other two, I think they are not that hard to combo, but yeah, it's just too hard to get actions on. So in particular, since the top shelf is pretty rough, so you have on Baby Park at least Daisy Holiday Cheer as a plus skill driver, and no single plus skill driver.
Not much
on
else.
Yeah. So yeah, I think a couple of us are also just using Coinbox second shelf or some other low level driver.
Yeah, man, I'm in the same boat. So it's definitely quite a paywalled ranked and quite a paywalled tour. So I think, you know, the ACR projections, which you're going to look at in a moment, it will show the impact there. Any other thoughts on the courses?
No. I think a little bit positively surprised by them, because I knew a lot of people don't like them, but I think they're okay. They're not my favorite, but they're also my least favorite, so I'm fine.
Sweet, man. All right, moving right along into our plus skill driver buffs. So we've got some interesting things kind of moving and shaking in the space, specifically the question mark block me, which I did get, which don't be too jealous. I only got it once, but you know, it got Skyguard and R as a tier 2 buff and Baby Park T as a tier 2 buff. So interestingly, these will be buffs for Rosalina Volendam, Luigi Vacation, and Mario Samurai to make those tracks even easier to boombox. And then it got, for the tier 3 shelf buffs, we got Frappe Snowland RT and Choco Island 1 RT. So the Frappe Snowland RT is a Coinblocks exclusive and it's in ranked, which is pretty cool. And then Choco Island 1 RT has only got overlap with the Gold Me. So this could be a really good value option for those who aren't anywhere near tier 80, like myself. Other interesting things, you know, so we've got Mario Satellaview. He also got Frappe Snowland RT, so still getting buffs even though he's been out since the Space Tour, which is quite good, and he's in ranked again. And also Meowser got a tier 2 buff on Luigi's Mansion, which is a buff for baby Luigi to make that that Luigi's Mansion RT even more boomboxable again. Yoshi Goldegg got Choco Island 2T, which is again that overlap with the Gold Me, but still pretty good course buff there. Any thoughts on these buffs?
Yeah, I think the most interesting one from my perspective, besides the new tracks, probably, as you mentioned, the question mark block suit, the RMX Triple Island 1 RT, which is difficult top shelf. I think it's the only plus skill driver over there. So that's a pretty nice buff for the Mii suit. And then, of course, Rosalina Volendam getting Sky Garden, the regular version. That's also pretty nice. There was the silver Mii suit as an unlock of level 3 as a good option for the players that already are a little bit advanced and could unlock the silver Mii suit yet. But apart from that, only other drivers like Valogy Vampire, something like that. So I think that's those are the two most important buffs, I would say. Besides, then of course something like Samurai getting
I was gonna say
RT, which was definitely necessary to save his value a bit, and Pinjas is doing great as well.
Yeah, Pinja got that same course, so do you like Boomerang? Do you like Giant Banana? What saves you time? What gets the higher scores? Will be interesting to see what comes of that. Awesome. All right, let's move right along. So now we're going to take a look at the ACR projections, and straight away you can see 1.15 million is so much lower than we had last tour, and even Nadino's his projection, which you'll see on the right there. So on the left we've got Rashid, and on the right Nadino's. Massive shout out to these guys for what they do in the community with their projections. It's a huge effort, and it's huge value to the community. So if you guys aren't aware of these projections, make sure you get involved in the Discord. And you can see in both of these that they are very low, 1.15 and 1.14 respectively. So it's going to be an interesting tour, and later on we're going to be taking a look at our loadouts and seeing where our estimates are, and whether we're going to be able to go for ACR this tour, whether it's going to be an easy grind or a hard grind. So any thoughts on the projections?
Well, I think there are some newer courses back this tour, Yoshi Valley, Sky Garden, something like that, so that decreases the scores needed to achieve top 1000 and also top 100 or top 10. Besides, of course, the fact that Baby Park is a relatively short track, so if you only can achieve 150 actions, that also decreases the scores massively. But that's the reason why we are roughly 100k below the last tour's cutoffs.
Absolutely, yeah, and I've seen a lot of karts and gliders, just lacking the higher levels on them this tour. So yeah, you're probably seeing that as well. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the plus skill distribution. So this is massive shout out and thank you to Flo for coming up with these pie charts that we've got here. You've got to love some pie charts, right? So this in the middle one there, you'll see the ideal distribution, and this is if you had every driver in the game, you have a complete whale account, you've got them all theoretically at the same level. This is the distribution you would see of Coinbox to Boombox to Lucky 7 to basically going for coin frenzies on the other side. And you can see it's a generous amount of Coinbox going on this tour, quite a decent chunk of Boombox, small amount of Lucky 7, and a small amount of everything else. And then on the right, you've got what you can see there is Flo's inventory and my inventory and what it looks like we're going for. So interestingly, with Flo's one there, you can see that he's got quite a decent chunk of Boombox, a little bit less Coinbox, and a bit more of running for coin frenzies. So some of those plus skill drivers, the Coinbox especially, maybe not leveled up. So I imagine, like you mentioned, your Peach Vacation being at a lower level, that's probably making an impact there. And then me, I'm even more to the extreme on this one, right? So I'm going for all sorts of things, a little bit of giant banana in there, but also a lot of, I've got, I think you saw Cooper Trooper on one of my courses. So yeah, I might have to use a normal, which is fun, right? That's not really what you think of when you think of ACR. So what are your thoughts on the distribution of the courses and their plus skills this tour?
I think this could be a very typical distribution. So usually we wouldn't have any coin ACR tracks for the ideal distribution, but that's due to the fact that we have no plus skill driver on Baby Park R, which is twice in ACR. So that's this two coin tracks. And of course, if you have no whale accounts like us, then you have a few more tracks where you have to grind for just coin frenzies, and that's it. Of course, if you want to go regularly for ACR, then you have really you really have to focus on this plus build driver, since they just increase the action count, and that's important to get the higher scores. Of course, you can also challenge yourself, and shout out to Draco that does it with his mushroom legacy. If you want to focus on these drivers, then of course it's a lot more difficult. That's also a nice challenge. But if you want to really reach regularly top 1000 or even top 100 or more, then you need to invest in those plus build drivers, and that's why you should have then maybe Coinbox for half of the tracks around that, and then the other ones, Boombox, Lucky 7 or Giant Banana, which I don't have in this tour, because I only have Yellow Pit Crew Toad, which saves you on 2 courses, but I have higher level drivers on those tracks.
Yeah, sometimes I'm tempted to just use them anyway because I just love Giant Banana.
Yeah.
But yeah. Nice, man. Awesome. All right, great thoughts. Moving right along, let's talk about our next section now. What we've been thinking about is we really need something that shapes up and shows us what's showing up in ranked, but also what's showing up in ACR. And so, Flo, do you want to explain how this works in this tier ranking list here?
Yeah, sure. So we had just a list of drivers, and we will also see the Karts and gliders in a minute. So we just counted the ACR appearances for these items. So if you're familiar with the rundown, then you should probably know the ACR MVPs. So basically, it's just this list, but combined with the ranked appearances, which is also part of the rundown, among other formats. I think it would be interesting to combine those two, since it's usually typical that you invest into items that appear in ranked but have a good long-term value when using it for ACR, if it is for the current tour or also for upcoming tours. So we just had a little point system there. As you can see, we just added to the number of ACR appearances twice the number of ranked occurrences, which is then a rank weight of 3, since they appear once in ACR, and then we just added it 2 additional times for appearing in ranked. And yeah, that's how the list then looks like.
Yeah, nice, man. I think what's always interesting with when we look at the items that show up in ACR, typically we're not going to be going and leveling up Cat Mario all the way to level 6 and double capping him, right? So, sometimes we will make that decision because we are making a run, say, for top 100. Maybe you would make that move this tour, I don't know. But often you'll find that the overlaps then stop you doing those kind of things. So I think, what's really interesting when we look through here is to look at some of the newer plus skill items, especially when we look at the drivers. Karts and gliders is a little bit different. But certainly in here, the ones that stand out to me are things like your Gold Me racing suit, which is already, we're giving it a score already of 10, which is absolutely insane. When your top one is 15, and the scoring potential of that thing. Rosalina Volendamp, not too far behind with a score of 9, and then we've got Pink Shy Guy Ninja also with a 9. the Silver Me racing suit also with a 9, and then we've also got some other ones in the mix there. Yoshi Kangaroo with 8, Luigi Vacation with the 7. Yeah, anything in particular stand out to you?
No, not so. Yeah, well, of course, the Gold Me racing suit. I think just used in ranked once, but with 8 ACR appearances, that's quite a lot, especially for those that already got it and also
lucky
leveled it up. Yeah. So
yeah.
Congratulations to all of those two who made it to tier 8 already.
Yeah, but we think this could be a really good resource for the community. So hit pause on the video, take a screenshot, do what you need to do, take a look and think about your inventory and, what's showing up here in ranked and in ACR and could help you. Maybe you've got something on here, but it's only at level 1. It might be time to look at the overlaps of that item and figure out if that's going to give you some long-term value as well as ACR and ranked value. All right, so moving along now, we've got our cart list. And so same rules apply. Basically, ACR ranked, giving it a total score. You can see that there's actually a lot of appearances with some of these newer items as always. But some that stand out to me are things like the Cupid's Arrow with a score of 12, which is massive. We've got the Armored Rider with a score of 11. I think the Cactar's in there a little bit further down the list. Combo Cruiser, Tanuki Kart, the Jukebox Buggy is always pretty strong. There's heaps of great carts here, guys, and we wanted to have a list of a lot more items to make sure that we're covering a lot more bases, because your account's going to be quite unique when it comes to the amount of carts in this game. What stands out to you there, Flo, on this list?
Maybe some items like Cupid's Arrow, the Armored Rider, those items that are not completely new in this tour, because usually if you have a new item, then of course you have all the buffs in the current tour, so that's why they are also good in ACR, like Guru Buggy, Guru Pink, Green Cat Cruiser. But then if you have also other items like Cupid's Arrow, Armored Rider, with both 2 ranked appearances, and at the same time you can use them for 7 or respectively 8 times in ACR, which is amazing. Also nice hitbox for both of the cards, so those are really good items to invest in right now if you own them.
Nice. All right, and moving right along, we have the gliders. So again, the Wonderful Wings looking super strong here with 12, 2 ranked appearances and 8 ACR appearances. So absolutely powerful item in the game right now. I'm absolutely loving it. We've got the Black Cat Parafoil not too far behind, again with 2 ranked appearances, and I think my understanding is that one is showing up on 2 of the most heavily paywalled courses there, with 2 of the baby parks. So that's a really good win if you've got the Black Cat Parafoil at a high level, or again if you want to look into if it's going to do anything for your account. Sky High Flyer, there's a few other ones in there as well. I think Flo, I'll let you talk a little bit about the Galaxy Glider.
Yeah, we will see that in a few minutes, since that's the glider I chose also to level up. So yeah, 2 ranked appearances, also then Spotlight of the first week pipe. Of course, I already owned it before from as a non-Spotlight back then around. It must have been a base tour, yeah. So quite some time ago, I directly invested into it because it had some nice. It filled some nice gaps for my account, so yeah, I'm happy to use it again, and yeah,
very
we will
nice,
talk
man.
about it later.
Awesome. And what courses does the Galaxy Glider have in ranked? Just if you can.
Yeah, the first one is Baby Park, which is a very nice buff, and it's also my only glider there, so it's even better that it's already leveled up. And then another difficult course, but I think there are quite some nice gliders on Sky Garden R, where you also have the Wonderful Wings and Gold Eggshell Glider. I don't remember all the options, but there were quite some meta gliders over there.
Yeah, and I think it's important to know that what the courses are that it covers is so important, because I'm not looking at the Galaxy Glider for my account, and that's probably because I've got things like the Wonderful Wings and maybe the Golden Wings, other things that came out around the same time as the Galaxy Glider, or have gotten similar buffs, right? So there is no one wrong or right way to do this game, guys. At the end of the day, every account's going to be very different, and there'll be a certain niche where a glider might perfectly fit that for your inventory. I'm big on the Starry Great Sail. Other people might still have it at level 1, so yeah, case in point, right? Do you actually still have it at level 1? That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. Oh, we got to get you to level that thing up just for this. I'm kidding. Don't do that. But yeah, guys, again, feel free to pause the video and take a look and look at your inventory. Moving right along, we're going to talk about something brand new to the community. This is the thing that I'm most excited about in this episode. And, I'm going to get Flo to talk about it because it's his baby. But we've got something called Ticket Time. And the best part of Ticket Time's got to be the name, right? Ticket Time. That's just really funny. But, Flo, do you want to talk a little bit about what you do professionally and how that's applied to the game, and talk to me a little bit about how did this whole thing come about and what is it?
Yeah, so I'm a PhD student in the field of computer science. So I like to program. I like to analyze things probably more than a lot of other people do. So when other people decide which is their favorite character, I just decide, which is the best way to level things up. And, that's how I play the game. So everything should do it how they like it, but that's just a possibility to offer it to other people so that they can also use it, which link with things to level up and so on. So the basic idea is that you have a look at specific inventories, and you just assume that you level up a specific item to some other level. So usually, if you invest into an item, you usually put it into level 6 and double cap it, something like that. If you already have it at 6 double cap, then you can level it further, of course. And I just have a look. What would be the case if you do so? So if you use some trackers like BGR tracker or something like that, then you usually get the count of the courses that you can use it on, which is very nice to see, and it's already a good base for decision. But I wanted to go one step further, so I looked also at the scores. So of course, it depends whether there's a plus skill driver on the course. In particular, for example, if you have a Kart, then you want to have a big Kart if you're using a Coinbox driver. That's a good combination. Or if you have a long track, then it's usually better. You could even argue that you want to use a giant banana driver over there, because if you get the 200 actions, then giant banana hits have the higher count. So there are some things that are taken into account. Most important, which other tools do not yet do. I think Antelef did a good adjustment to the top 10 of the rundown by adding some course recency, and that's what I also did. So I just had a small adjustment by giving the courses some weights. So 1 if it's a city, and 2 if it's a tour like Ninja Hideaway or Remote, and then 3 for SNES courses, and so on. So they should correlate to the number of times they occur in ACR during a whole year. So you will probably notice that some courses like Daisy Hills, Vanilla Lake 1, they only occur once, twice, maybe 3 times, like it is assumed here, in a year. So it will not be that important that you have high level loadouts there, but you really have to focus on the newer tracks. And you can see the recency points over there. If tracks are very new, they usually occur very often in ACR, like we see with Yoshi Valley, with Sky Garden right now. So it's important to have good loadouts there, and that's what I try to take into account. And yeah, basically that's the idea. Currently I run it locally on my laptop, but I try to make it available so that you can also use it. But yeah, write it in the comments, or also you will find us on Discord, of course. If you like it, if you are interested in that, then just let us know.
Awesome, man. And you know, guys, sorry for a slide full of text, but you know, we're excited about this tool. Basically, you know, in essence, for the layman's that are watching this video, you put in your inventory, which you need to take your BAM and GURBS, you know, the export sheet from that. CSV file goes in, and what comes out is a rating or a ranking of your best upgrades. So it's pretty cool. So we're going to show you a tier list on the next page and show you what it looks like in action, so you get an idea or a feel for what it is and how it works. So on the next page, essentially there's an assumption that we would level everything up from level 3 to level 6 and then double cap it, and that generates a score. And we'll talk a little bit more about how those scores work, and we'll get Flo to talk about it on the next screen. But basically the cool thing about this is it's not just a tier list for everyone, but actually it's a tool that can create a tier list for your account. So we'll show you that, and we'll show you some examples using our own inventories. All right, so first up now, we're going to show you an ACR tier list using ticket time on every item in the game, assuming you have essentially everything at level 3, and we're taking it to level 6 and double capping it. What are the best items in the game right now for ACR? Am I right, Flo? Would you add anything to that?
Exactly. Yeah. So maybe one thing to add that I forgot to mention, because it's mostly irrelevant nowadays. But of course, if you have super or normal items, we just assume 8 triple cap, because that's the only way that they can compete with the with the high-end items. But yeah, as I mentioned, they are mostly irrelevant nowadays, unfortunately.
Nice. All right, so we're going to show you now the best drivers in the game for ACR. So in the first place, highest scoring potential, some great coverage. We've got the Gold Me, and we've got a score there, which is 1 million. Then in second place, we've got Meowser with, again, a score of 1 million. And then we've got Charging Chuck, Yoshi Kangaroo, and Luigi Vacation. So before we go any further, Flo, do you want to explain a little bit about what these numbers mean and what is the score?
Yeah, sure. So in this case, I think it's a bit more artificial for the ACR tier list in general, but it's very interesting if you look into the inventories for your own account. So what it computes is actually the estimated gain in ACR over a full year. So if we assume that we have this artificial account of having all drivers at level 3, and we would level up the Gold Me suit from level 3 to level 6 double cap, then we would gain an additional 1,069,000 points in ACR over the whole year. The reason why I did it for the whole year, it's because you can not that easy determine which will be the next curses to appear in ACR. So that's why I decided to go for a full year, because you then have also some things like Merry Mountain, Ninja Hideaway. You have usually 2 tricks to something like that. And that's the idea behind the score.
Yeah, I mean, ACR is playing the long game anyway, so it kind of makes sense.
Yep.
Cool. And you can see the top 15, so feel free to take a screenshot. Special shout out to Lakatu Party Time for making the list. That's pretty funny. Right, and then our carts, our top 15. So in the top 5, we've got the Jukebox Buggy with 61k, Cupid's Arrow with 54, Cacti with 52. Actually, sorry, is it 5 million? No, wait.
No, it's
Sorry,
500.
it's 546. I kicked out with 520. Ramby Runner with 494. Good to see Ramby Runner in that top 5. And then the prop cart, surprising there for me, on 489k. Flo, do you want to talk a little bit about why the scores here are quite a bit lower than the drivers?
Yeah, sure. So that's important to note, and also to draw some consequences for playing the game. So as you should know, hopefully, the driver base points are twice as high as the kart base points and the glider base points as well. So that's why if you level up a driver the same way you would do with a kart, then of course you would gain twice the points for the driver, roughly. So as you can see, Gold Me Suit won a little bit about 1 million, and here Jukebox Buggy and the other cards around 500,000. So that's a factor of 2 roughly, and we will see that also in a minute with the gliders. So that's why I would also recommend really try to get as many driver tickets as possible in the tier shop, if you're lucky in the daily selects, because as you can see, Lucky to Party Time would gain even more than a Jukebox Buggy if you would level it up accordingly.
If level up tickets were all just for drivers, karts, and gliders together, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Because there's the big caveat always there is you've only got so many driver tickets, so you're not gonna level Lakitu Party Time up because he's 15th on this list, right? That's not the purpose. But you know, you're gonna see something on your list, on this list. Maybe you look there and you go, "Huh, I didn't know." You know, Satellaview was as valuable as he is, or I didn't know Shy Guy Ninja still had so much value for ACR. But the reality is, doesn't matter how old some of these drivers are, if they've got the right courses and those courses are appearing in ACR, then they're going to show up in this top 15. Cool. All right. So moving. Oh, and one thing I'd say, I see with the karts there, you know, it's really important to kind of put your personal preference aside with this, and I think this is the key with this tool. You know, Yellow Off-Roader in 12th place compared to the Cactar in 3rd. You know, substantial difference there. Yellow Off-Roader still an amazing kart, and it's my preference because I have that card. I pulled for it. I needed it from a coverage perspective. It forms a really good niche in my account. However, from what my understanding is, when I looked at this, you know, Cactar just shows up more in ACR. You know, even if that's one course in a tour that it's going to show up more than the Yellow Off-Roader, that's going to give you much more value in terms of scoring over the long run.
Yeah, maybe one comment about this. So the Cactar, I think, has also a bit more courses than the Yellow Off-Roader, and probably also more recent ones. So that's why, for example, Cupid's Arrow, I don't think that it has that many courses right now, but it just has so many recent courses, like twice Mushroom Gorge, twice Baby Park now added. So that's why the value is so high, because we just expect it to be very valuable for future ACRs, because Baby Park and Mushroom Gorge, those are some of multiple tracks where Cupid's Arrow is top shelf on, and that will appear frequently 2022. So that's why.
Awesome, man. Let's move right along to the gliders. And our top 5, we've got the Golden Wings. I just got it last tour. I'm excited about this. That thing's going to the moon, as John Boy said. We got the Starry Greats out. I told you, man, you need to level this thing up. See, these are my top 2 gliders. You know, I'm just next level stuff here. Then we've got the Galaxy glider. There's your one there. So you know,
just to add, Golden Wings are also level 1 for me.
Oh man, you chose a 3rd place, but you know, 3rd place is still a podium finish.
Yeah.
We've got the Silver Surf Master and the Pink Gold Meteors. So Pink Gold Meteors is one I was leveling up last tour as well. So it's you know, it feels good when you've got a few on the list that you're leveling up. But again, you know, you see the scoring is similar to the karts as opposed to the drivers. And interestingly, you know, the Jukebox Buggy pulls way ahead of the other Karts for the top score being 617,000. But actually, the Karts overall tend to show less value for scoring than the gliders. Did you want to explain a little bit about that, Flo?
Yeah, it's hard to explain. Probably it's just because gliders have a little bit more coverage, if I'm not mistaken. So that's why.
That's right.
And
yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. There's so many more Karts in the game; they spread the value a bit thinner. So definitely, that would be my analysis as well. Awesome, man. So that's the ACR tier list, guys. Feel free to screenshot it, take a look, pause the video, whatever you need to do. But let's move right along. And next up, we've got another example of one of these tier lists, but this one's going to be a little bit more interesting because now we're taking Flo's inventory, what he already has leveled up, and then we're looking for things on the list which he doesn't have leveled up. So it's still going to show up the ones he has leveled up already, but then it's going to surface up the ones which he might have at a lower level. So first up, we've got the drivers. And there we go. So top 5, not really surprise. Meowser, Charging Chuck, King Bob-omb Gold, Luigi Vacation, and Satellaview. But what does surprise you on this list?
Yeah, it's really surprising to see that Meowser is leading by such a high value. So 650,000, it's amazing. And then it's just Charging Chuck with below 400k. So yeah, I think I should really further invest in Meowser. So it's currently level 7 double cap. I unfortunately didn't have the tickets yet to triple cap him, but that will hopefully follow soon. So yeah, probably that's also the reason why he's already top and on a lot of courses. And then, of course, these courses would get even better if I would further invest into Meowser. So that's why his weighted value is way higher than the other drivers.
Very nice, man. And I think I heard you say earlier that you were surprised to see a Mario Samurai already showing up in the 15th place. Exactly. So, yeah, maybe he creeps up the list over the coming tours. We'll have to see. Awesome, man. So then you've got your Karts. So Jukebox Buggy, Purple Bunny, Frosty Bells, Silver King, and White Bruiser. Tell me about your Karts. I don't know what Karts you have in the game, but what surprises you in here? What one are you excited to see? What one are you not excited to see at all?
So from the top 5, I only own Silver King at level 7 triple cap because he's just amazing. And White Bruiser is currently level 5 double cap. I was a little bit hesitant to level it up to level 6 last tour when it was in ranked once or twice, I don't know, but at least at Cooper Cape T. So I probably will level it up to level 6 at some point, but yeah, so I tried to save some tickets, so that's why. The other 3 items I don't own. Jukebox Buggy, of course, was only banner right now, so that's why I could not even get it until now, as Gold Pass with only some premium challenge.
I mean, those packs amazing last tour, but if you're not buying packs, then doesn't mean anything. Yeah, man, I anticipate that Jukebox Buggy's going to be on my list too, because I think it's got a lot of value. Its value's peaking right now, and Nintendo have a way to put things right in front of you in a pack once something's value's peaking. So something else will take its place, I think, on this list. But yeah, it's definitely some interesting carts on this list.
Yeah, like Purple Bunny and Frosty Bells.
Yeah,
Frosty Bells. I have no clue which are the top shelves I could use it on, but
yeah,
maybe I will have
a lot of ice courses, vanilla lakes, and things like that. So
yeah, it will also probably not be back for a long time, but let's see how it will be in half a year. If it will still be top on the list and if it's worth pulling for it, but if it is in the pipe. But let's see. Yeah, Armored Rider I want to mention. I think that's a pretty nice card, which unfortunately also was just in a pack, but I hope this will come back at some point to a pipe, and then I will probably pull it.
Yeah, I think as a Gold Pass player, I can relate to that. Seeing these new carts come out and then waiting in a pack and then waiting for that very paywalled cart to come. It gets all the right buffs for your Gold Pass account because they're trying to get you to pay, right? And so then it finally comes out in the pipe and then you try to obtain it. So I do the exact same thing. That's what I did with the yellow off-roader.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good
all
choice.
Right. Yeah, thanks, man. Let's move on to the gliders. And in number one place, we've got the Galaxy glider. I'm sure you want to tell us all about that. We've got the Black Great
Yes.
Sail, Rose Parasol, Black Toe Beans, which are underrated glider in my opinion, and the Dream Glider. So tell me about this list. What gets you excited? What surprises you? Yeah.
So in comparison to the cards, I own all of these gliders that are on top of the list. Basically, I think I own all of them until place 9, and then Green Cat Parafoil, and especially the Sakura Origami Glider, which would fill some really nice gaps for my account. So I hope this will be maybe along with the Armored Rider. That would be great if I can pull those two from the same pipe or something like that. But apart from that, I own the rest. They are also at a high level already. Galaxy Glider, I leveled it further up this tour, but the rest are also just level 6 double cap. It's the usual way to do for most of the items. No big surprises here. I think for the card list, it was a little bit more surprising. Like Tobin's balloons, I also pretty like. I pulled them. I even pulled them on purpose back in the Bowser versus DK tour because they were just so amazing for my account already, just right from the start, because they have the whole donut planes, 2 top shelf, the DK Summit top shelf. Still a nice glider. I'm not sure if I will.
It's a good glider, yeah.
To level
love to
7
have that one. It's level 6.
Yeah, I have it at level 6, and thinking about maybe I will even put them to level 7 for next week's rank, since they are top shelf on Armix Choco Island 2.
Very nice, man. Sounds like your gliders are pretty sorted, pretty solid in terms of coverage. It sounds like maybe the Karts is the area for most of us where it needs a bit more work. I know that's true of my account.
Yeah, same here, I think.
Yep. All right, man, let's move on. So now we've got my tier list. So, it's probably less, if we compare Flo's weighting of Meowser, you can see that I'm not getting as much bang for buck out of Meowser, and that's because I've got other items which give me higher levels. So it might be things like Kamek, it might be some other items there where I've got some good good drivers already. It's good to see Satellaview in there strong. It gives me confidence that I started investing in him last tour, because it feels a bit scary when you get a brand new driver and you take them straight up to level 5, and I've already double capped him for rank this week. But it's crazy. I've had Nabbit and wanted to level him up more than level 4 in single for ages, and I get Satellaview and I've already got him at a high level, which is interesting, but that's the value that he's got. So he's got great non-coin box overlap, so I'm really keen to use him for ACR as much as I can. Charging Chuck, Luigi Vacation, great to see him in there. King Bob on Gold, no surprises. I think it's interesting seeing Rosalina Swimwear in there. I don't even have her, so that's quite interesting. It makes me think maybe when she comes back, I need to actually look at her coverage and look at the courses. She's a heavyweight coin boxer, so she's super valuable for ACR, so maybe I need to look at that. Luigi Painter, this is good because I love Luigi and I love Lucky 7, and I'd love to take him higher than level 5 in single cap, so maybe I need to look at him. And seeing Kamek so low for ACR is fascinating. Right, moving on to the Karts. Jukebox Buggy, there you go. It's my number 1 needed cart too, which is not surprising. Again, Nintendo loves to paywall the carts and make you go after things and spend money. So I didn't buy that pack last tour. Cupid's Arrow is interesting. I need to look at the coverage there. I've got the Combo Cruiser at level 4 and double capped. I need to take it to level 6, seeing as I've already double capped it. Vampire Fly is interesting. I've never tried to get that item. And Gold Pumpkin Cart I have at level 6. It's also good to see Armored Rider already up there quite high, because I don't have that item, so it might be one for me to go for next time it comes back. And then in the gliders, you know, Starry Great Sow, Golden Wings, there you go. Perfect. Just the most perfect top 2. Wonderful Wings in 3rd place. Wow, that's amazing. And I only just got it 2 tours ago. And it's level 6 and double cap for me. Dry Bowser Umbrella, yet really strong. Silver Surfmaster is going to be my most needed glider. I've got the other, in fact, I have everything up to in the first 8 apart from the Silver Surfmaster. So that's the glider I'm going to need to go after next. But my gliders are pretty well sorted, so I don't have too many coverage gaps. Okay, guys, so this next section is our ACR game plan. So now we're going to be talking about what our estimates are for the current tour, for the Baby/Cat Tour 2022, and what our plan is. Are we going for ACR? What do we need to make it? And then what are our ACR MVPs? What are the items which are showing up well for us? And what are the items that we're looking to invest in? So first up, this is my account here. You can see my estimate is 1.3 million. I typically look at an 87% estimate, as I mentioned before, and the 87% estimate is 1.139. So it's like right on the absolute cusp of achievable for, you know, if I hit 87%. So it's going to be a little bit of a tougher grind if I want to hit top 1,000, because I don't want to be, you know, missing out by 1,000 points or 10,000 points. So it's quite interesting. If you look at my loadouts here, there's definitely some interesting ones. The Sakura Hot Rod, which I took to level 6 last tour, is showing up 6 times. You can see Yoshi Gold Eggs showed up 5 times. Satellaview, who I took up, he's only actually showing 1 time, which is hilarious, but it's ranked, so you know, I made the investment anyway. Combo Cruiser, it should be showing up more for me, but it's not, because I've got other items that are at a higher level or are already, you know, already overlapping there. And then the Wonderful Wings is showing up 5 times for me as well, which is really great. The Pink Gold Meteors, which I obtained and took to level 4 in single cap last tour, is already showing up 4 times. And then the Golden Wings, which I again only obtained last tour, took it to level 5 single cap, is already showing up 3 times. So some really interesting coverage for me this tour. I think my MVPs would have to be the Sakura Hot Rod and the Wonderful Wings. I'm loving both these items. So that's my loadout. I don't know if I'm going to go for ACR, to be honest. I think I'm going to do a casual grind, but if I don't get it, I'm not too worried, because you know, I've done it 2 tours back to back. This one's a little bit too close for comfort, so I will just take it easy. And yeah. And Flo, this is your DKR spreadsheet here in front of us. Why don't you tell us about your game plan for this tour?
Yeah, so I highlighted 2 things, which is the Galaxy Glider, which we already talked about. So I put them to level 7 triple cap, which is my 3rd high-end glider, level 7 triple cap, besides the 8-bit mushroom and the Dry Browser Umbrella, which I think doesn't have a single appearance this tour, which is crazy. But
is crazy.
Yeah, wow. It saved me 2 tours back. So and also wasn't ranked quite some times, and had just such a high amount of tracks. So I think it was worth nevertheless. And yeah, Galaxy Glider is Spotlight, so it has at least 1 Spotlight boost at Sky Garden T this tour. So it's a nice additional gain. Besides that, I think I will level up Blue Turbo Yoshi, since I think it's I think it only appeared in 1 pipe back in some Paris tour. and didn't appear since then. So I hope that it might get another buff in the future, because I would also have the light blue turbo Birdo there as another option, which I would even need less tickets for. But I think this is the way to go. So I will do that upgrade then with the blue turbo Yoshi. And besides that, I think MVPs for this ACR grind. Yeah, Combo Cruiser, I think, has
man,
6 appearances. I think one of them being in the second shelf, but still very good. And then also Rosalina Voldam, I really like the new buff, as I mentioned. Sky Garden is super nice, and Sky Garden R as well. I already had Luigi Vacation on that track, but yeah, still very nice. I think that could be even an item that I would bring to level 7 at some point. And in general, yeah, my estimate is 1.48. So yeah, I'm as usual nowadays with my loadouts. Top 1000 is not that complicated. I usually need less than 80%. I'm usually going for 85, 87, something like that. Something between 85 and 90 usually. And yeah, maybe I will make it into top 200, which is the first page, which would be nice. And
nice, man.
That would be the goal.
Yeah, man, that's some nice loadouts for the top 1000 grinders tour. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where you land. Yeah, Combo Cruiser, interesting how much stronger it is on your account for me, maybe because I've only got it at level 4 and I've got some overlaps with Sakura Hot Rod and the yellow off-roader this tour. So
exactly,
that
yellow
might
off-road
be
the problem.
Yeah. And Rosalina Volendam, man, I was just looking at that DK Cup and the Morton Cup, and every single driver. So you got Yoshi Goldie, Rosalina Volendam. Is that Rosalina Volendam there, or is it Rosalina?
That's swimwear. Rosalina
swimwear. Okay. And then you got Rosalina Volendam, and then you got Yoshi Goldie. So that's pretty insane. Yeah, it's all Rosalinas and Yoshis.
Yeah.
Cool, man. And man, that Galaxy glider is looking absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, hoping for some more buffs in the future tours.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if it gets the same value Satellaview does, then, it's looking good. All right, guys. Well, hey, that's pretty much it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. This is a bit of a beta test, really. Us trying something out, trying something different. Sorry about the camera quality. My camera's run out of battery because we had so much fun talking for so long. But just wanted to say thank you for watching, and I hope you got something out of it. Would love to hear in the comments below, or reach out to us on the Discord. We're across a lot of the Discords in the community, so do reach out to us and let us know your feedback and what you enjoyed and what you'd like to hear more about or less about. We'd love to hear from you, but just want to say a massive thank you firstly to you, Flo. Thank you for your data analysis, for what you're doing with Ticket Time, and thank you for everything you brought to this episode. It's really great chatting with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was a great time, and hopefully we can repeat that soon.
Awesome, man. And I also want to shout out to 778 IT, who provides a lot of data mining to the community, DKR.exe, Antalev, and Bam Gerbs and Reichenbach. All of these guys, you would have seen, all sorts of data that we showed on the screen, and it wouldn't have been possible without these guys. So thank you for everything that you guys do within the tour community. And also just a recommendation, we would love to get the Ticket Time tool into your hands and to be able to analyze your own inventory. But until such a time as we get that ready to go, there are some great resources out in the community we strongly advise you use, and use them in conjunction so that you can get a really good view of your account and your inventory. So there's the BGR and the Antalev sheet. There's Antalev's top 10. There's the rundown from StudFit. Also, StudFit does the inventory inspection episodes and some ACR special episodes, which are worth checking out. And then also Kevin Garrett and Carlos85 are two YouTubers where you will learn a lot just by watching their videos and their content. So thanks, everyone. I hope your ACR growing grows really well. Let us know in the comments down below what your goals are this tour and what your ACR MVPs are. We would love to hear from you to see if there's similar items or some different items represented. But make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and get excited for even more data analysis in the future. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Bye.
See ya.